Why do you think the energy companies haven't been getting their message across as effectively as they could?
Well, I don't think it's a mood of being misunderstood, because what we want actually is a clear, open and honest debate. It's very easy to turn on industry and say it's your fault, and especially if an industry is the one who is issuing a bill, and a bill that's gone up and a bill that people don't like. But the reality, which we're trying to explain as clearly as we can, is that bill is composed of a lot of different facets, of which the parts that are rising are outside the control of the energy companies.
So it's not your fault?
They're pass-throughs. Now, we understand why it's done that way, but it begs the question, should it continue to be done this way? And that's what we want to discuss. It's gone are the times where you sort of say, it's your fault, and this isn't a Punch and Judy show. What it has to be is a realism. It has to be sensible discussion. It has to be working together to move forward and decide what should or should not be on today's household bill.
This cash cow line, what's your reaction to that?
The industry makes 4 or 5%, that's 4 or 5 pence in the pound. And out of that, it, for example, pays dividends which are to the pensions. Now, that is not a big return, and particularly when you consider the size of the investment. So I would call on all policymakers to just get into the facts with us. A very useful analyst report was produced last week, which showed that overwhelmingly what may well happen in price increases in the next few years comes from policy, not from the industry. It's the stuff that gets stuck on the bill. So let's talk about that and not call names.
So you don't think the Secretary of State is dealing in facts?
I think that we need to have all the facts and not just some of the facts. It is a highly political issue now, energy. It's a pity in some respects that it should be the case. But let's look at all the facts and not just some of the facts. Let's decide what they want, the policymakers want to sit on today's household bill, and what they want to take off today's household bill. That is where the questions lie. It isn't a question of big profit.
Yeah, but you know that politicians know there are votes in bashing the energy companies.
And politicians also know that this is an important industry for the UK that has to attract a large amount of investment if we're to rebuild plant, to do the new nuclear, to put in the renewable energy that the government wants, and which the politicians have signed up for and put into law. So you can't, at the one hand, say it's your fault for doing this, and on the other hand, say, but we want something done. You know, let's get the balance of the discussion.